Hello, Peach. There's Peach, guys. It's a beautiful day today. It's not overly hot or anything, but in the sun, it's nice and warm. That's Peach. Have the water out. There's Maple. And the rest of the gang's over there. The two magpies and Cherry. So birds are bad too, guys. That's right. If you've been watching our channel for a while here, I never say that, right? The birds are all good. But birds can be bad too. Now little Peach, he's not bad. Peach is very good. Right, Peach? Peach is a good bird. I'm not talking about these birds are that bad necessarily, but if they were to be let free, maybe some bad things could happen. Someone again the other day said, unlock those birds, let them free. I see that on a regular basis. It's not like every minute, but maybe tomorrow I'll look in the comments again, I'll say, let those birds go. A lot of people watching here, you know the reason and everything why they're here. But okay, let's let them free. Let's just pretend. Unlock the door. The door isn't even locked, but let's unlatch it and let them go. So other birds aren't bad. These birds aren't bad. They'd have to join some other kind of flock, right? So let's imagine now. Okay, Peach goes out there, and Peach is imprinted, by the way, and 4 of these other birds are too. So that's another story, imprinting. Like, if you don't know what that is, look it up, because there's a challenge right there. Never rescue the birds, say. What are you doing? You should have never done that. Say that. It's too late. You don't say let them go now. But anyways, let's say Peach goes out there. Now, birds are bad. Like, they're not all accepting and loving. Like, oh, there's another crow. He's one of ours. He's welcome. That's just not the way it works. Like, he's a threat. They mate for life, so he's going to join someone and maybe he gets fancy on one of the females. What's going to happen? He's either going to get destroyed or ganged up on a bunch of other crows. It's not just like, I'm not saying it doesn't work. Maybe it could work. But, you know, other birds are bad too, and maybe Peach should have bad intentions, and he wants to get in there, so then he's fighting, and I've heard other birds have destroyed other birds, so birds are bad too. So 4 of the birds here you see are imprinted. Imprinted means I'm part of their flock. They're used to humans, and they're used to my wife and I, like mainly. Not every human, not any human can just walk in here and sit with the birds. They'll be a little skeptical, they'll be scared. It'll take them a little while. It's not like every human is acceptable. They're not that dumb. Like, they'd have skepticism. Like Cherry, he's always skeptical. Even to this day, because he's not imprinted. He was saved there, rescued with the broken wing, and we adopted him later, and then a bunch of surgeries happened. I'll put links below to all that. But you just can't release the imprinted birds. Like I said, don't ever rescue them. Just leave them by the side there, laying on the ground with dead birds around, and just ignore it and walk by, you know? Like some people do when they see people injured or something. They just walk by, oh, it's not my problem, you know? They just keep going. The last video we did was about migration. The birds are leaving. Actually, yesterday, there was hundreds and hundreds of crows above, flying over. They were heading north, actually. But they're probably getting ready, right? They're gathering up other crows. And a lot of these crows, they're buddied up, right? They have their mate and stuff. Or the young are going to be flying south. So they're getting ready. They're getting ready to go. And the crows usually stay here longer, like the robins do and stuff. And the sandhill cranes, birds like that, they're still going. But what a huge gang. But, you know, if we were just to let them free, what would happen? Would they accept Peach? And the magpies, they don't migrate. But there's other magpies in the area here. You know, basically it's their territory around in the bush and stuff. These birds aren't out there, so would they accept them too, right? The magpies would have their own trouble. But little Peach is safe in here, and we rescued them, and 4 of them are imprinted, and they're going to stay in here. We're not going to open the door. Like, that'd be very irresponsible if I said, guys, I'm opening the door, watch the video. You'd think I'm an idiot, right? Like, why would I do that? Anyways, the last video, the migration one, I was talking about, tell me where you're from. We had such a wonderful response. Thank you, guys. There's so many, I can't even, if I was to say all the names here, the video would go for 10 more minutes if I even remember them. I wrote some of them down, but from all over the world, you know, South Africa, there's UK, there's so many, United Kingdom and Scotland and Finland and Sweden and Estonia, all kinds of places. And you know, in North America, many of the states, a lot of you watching from different states, and like Hollywood. Wow, that's what a name that is, you know, famous name, Hollywood. It's humbling, you know, someone's watching from there, like with all the stars down there and everything, and they'll watch something so simple like this, but you know, that's a break from that, right? That madness. So you watch our channel and you enjoy it, right? Seeing the birds and stuff, and just like a simpler life. So, but thanks to everybody watching from all over the place. I want to thank each and every one of you that left a response, and some of you didn't see the video, you would have said where you're from too, so thank you very much for that. I'm gonna have another question today. Keep watching for that one. I like the interaction, guys. I feel more connected, like someone's watching. Sure, you might see 500, 600, 800 views, but who are the people watching? And you know, some of you don't want to leave a comment. You just like watching, and that's the way it is. You might give a thumbs up, you might not. You're just watching the video. That's okay. At least you're watching, so thanks for that too. So I was saying before, birds are bad too. I got a story I wanted to share. It's not really about birds, but maybe it is, right? People are bad, you know that. I don't have to say people are bad. You know, there's lots of bad people. Anyways, let's go way, way back. Early 70s, I was in grade school. I'm that old, yeah. I think it was grade 5 or 6. Maybe I'm thinking it's grade 5. I don't know. So let's say it's 1973, something like that. Boy, that's a long time ago. A lot of you watching, you don't even remember that, and a lot of you are, you know that time. Anyways, I remember they were integrating kids into the classroom. Like, they didn't, you know, they weren't there from the start of the school year. They weren't there the year before, and some of these kids just came for a couple of weeks. They just come and go. Like, they put some kid in the class that had some trouble or something. And I remember there was this one, he was sitting behind me. And this is the total truth, guy, not a word of a lie. I'm telling the truth here. I'm sharing something personal with you. He said, "Put your hands behind your back." I said, "No. Put them behind or I'll stab you." So I looked, he had a little pocket knife. Yeah, it was a little knife, like, it might have been only like this long, but I'm a kid, right? I was terrified. I was scared. "Put your hands behind your back or I'll stab you." And he was a rough kid. Who knows, you know, where he came from, and I was scared of him. So I put my hands behind the back. He tied them with some twine or something. And lo and behold, the teacher said, "I'm going to ask a question, guys, and I want to see all hands. None of the same people, like always the smart kids and the ones that aren't shy and stuff." And I didn't put my hand up very much. I was shy. So I was quiet. And everyone puts their hands up. If whoever doesn't, that's the one I'm going to ask the question to answer. Sure enough, they said, okay, they asked the question. She asked it, the teacher. And they all put their hands up. "Oh, I see. Dennis, how come your hands aren't up? Why isn't your hands up?" I said, "I can't." "What are you talking about?" I said, "They're tied." Ha ha, they were all laughing, everyone. And she came walking over and, "Who did this?" I said, "He did." "Oh, you let him tie your hands behind your back?" I said, I was scared. He said, "Get to the principal's office immediately." And I was like, I was terrified of this guy. Like, I'm a kid, right? I'm not now. Even now, if a guy had a knife in my back, I'd listen to, right? Like, I'm not a violent person. And get to the principal. So I went to the principal, and the principal said, "Why did you let him tie your hands behind your back?" I said, "I was scared." He said, "He'd stab." "Oh, you believe everything you hear?" "Well, yeah, I did believe it." He said, "For the rest of the day, you're going to sit, like, in the, I think it was secretary's office right by the principal, and you're going to sit there. You're going to eat your lunch here and everything. You can only leave to go to the bathroom." And kids were walking by laughing and joking. And I thought, they let this punk in school. And he was bad, actually. He had a reputation. There was a reputation, like, maybe it was a rumor, but they said he spun some kid on one of those, in the merry-go-rounds in the park. And the kid fell off and died. And I don't know if that's true, guys. I'm not saying that's what happened, but that's what I heard. Now, a kid hears that when he's little. You believe it, right? There's lots of liars in this world. They'll say things, you believe them. So I don't know if that happened, but that's what the rumor was. And he was a rough kid. Where'd he come from? So anyways, I went home and I was really upset. I told my mother. She was mad. She called that school and she was talking and yelling on, how dare you punish my child. You bring these kids into the school, and in those days there was no educational assistants, whatever they called them. Like today now they have these people in the class, they have to, because the teacher can't run the classroom, there's chaos going on. So it was just the teacher. But I was always a good student, I never caused trouble, I was always on time, I didn't have absences, and I wasn't the smartest kid, I wasn't the dumbest, and I did what I did, right? I was kept to myself, and never got in trouble. And here I'm being scolded, like told that what I did was wrong. So the next day I went to school. It was like a carpet laid out there. Everyone was treating me like I was a king, so nice to me. And I guess my mom said, I'm going to call the school board and I will be dealing. And it was all good after that. And I was treated, and that kid was gone. Actually, one more thing about him. He was a career criminal. I remember his name to this day. I won't mention it. I'm not going to say that. I know his name. He died in prison. He was murdered in prison like when he was 29. So about my age, that's 30 years ago or so. So he was a career criminal. Yeah, he was a kid at the time. But I'm just trying to say, guys, what has it got to do with birds? But birds can be bad too, and they can hurt each other. So this is what we live on the earth. Just wanted to share that, guys. There's little Peach. I'm going to protect Peach, I'll tell you that. We have these birds in here. We're not going to let them go. I'm not going to open the door and say, go have a nice time, How are they going to make it? I know a lot of you watching, you know that. I'm sorry for going on and on about that. I just wanted to share that. I've told other people about that through my life, but I've never shared it on social media like this. I just wanted to say it, that birds can be bad, just like people are bad. So guys, I'll let you go. Give a big thumbs up if you want. Maybe you didn't like that story, but if you could share something, make me feel better. Like something happened to you, do you remember? Or an animal, maybe you've seen some animal like eating another one and attacking one and it upset you. And it's not, animals are bad too, like birds are bad, right? People are bad, it's just life. So share something with me, and we'll see you in the next one.